Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. This is Tora, and today I'm gonna be ripping this one box of Love is War Weiss English. It's a booster box. This is kind of it's older than what I've currently been ripping. Everything that I've been opening is more recent these days. But also included in this video, I'm gonna be ripping a case of a Weiss Rose Yuzu Soft trial deck that I've been sitting on for a couple months now, and I decided to. I'm just gonna show you like the pulls that I get from it, and then I'm gonna be ripping 2 cases of Japanese Weiss Dengeki trial deck, and again I'm just gonna be showing the hits from that, just to kind of keep it quick and easy, because this would be like an hour and a half, long video. So yeah, let's get right into it. See you guys in a bit. Let's play the intro.
Pervert. You're going to sit there and stare, or help me pick up my cards, idiot.
Alright, so topic for today is I just kind of wanted to, I guess I never really introduced myself fully in my first videos, and I know this is kind of late, but for anybody that is still watching, I kind of wanted to do that now. Is I go by the username Tora. Tora is something that I've always used as a tag. And I've been in the TCG world for over 10 years now. Kind of goes to show you how old I am. I first started around like 2013, 2014. I can't really remember the specific date, but essentially how I got into it is, years before that, I found this, found a love of like Japanese rock, and one of my favorite bands is Alice 9, or it is my favorite band. And for years I was searching for merch and and this and that, but seeing that Japanese imports were a lot harder back then. There was nothing that I could really go on, and like the internet, the Japanese to global market wasn't as integrated as it is now. So finding merch for this band that I loved was just so hard, so much harder there. And eventually I found this like really sketchy website where it was run by one dude. The one dude like owned like the rights to the website, and he maintained it and all this, and that guy sold Alice 9 merchandise. And to me this was this is like a shocking find. So I remember I was working at as KFC when I found this, and I basically busted my ass to buy all of this merch from him, all of these CDs. I basically bought the entire discography from him for this like outlandish price, because I'm sure he knew he could swindle me out of it, which I was happy to pay. So that's his name is Ryosei. I never talked to him on the phone, but I know his name. And me and him, after years, maybe I bought from him for like I bought merchandise from him for a long time, maybe like 2-3 years. Slowly getting new he was slowly getting like new Alice 9 t-shirts, and I was slowly buying them, and new Alice 9 CDs would come out, and I would also buy them from him through the website again. This one, there was this one purchase that I made from him. It was like maybe it was like either 2013, 2014. I bought a shirt from him. It was a really rare limited shirt, and I was really excited. And I paid an outrageous amount, like maybe $400 for one T-shirt. That never fit me. I've never worn it. I still have it. Included in that was a booster box of Chaos TCG. And I was like, when I got the package, it was larger than I usually get. And so I messaged him. I was like, hey, what is this? And he was like, hey, I've had this long love for trading cards, I have this extra box, and I thought I'd let you have it. So I ended up ripping that, and that's essentially how I got into the hobby. And it was really fun at the time. It was something new to do, and it was Chaos TCG, one of the Nitro boxes. It was like, I think it was Nitro 1, which is like I think it's like the very first Chaos TCG box that came out, or booster box that came out. The pulls weren't too impressive. I definitely didn't get an SP. I just got a holo, but it was fun, because him and I bonded over things like that. And so like over like the next couple of years, he would send me like booster packs and like other boxes. I really only bought like maybe 2 booster boxes from him. Everything else he gifted to me. And looking back, I know he probably gave me all the stuff that was dead already, which was fine with me because I thought it was fun. I guess eventually him and I kind of grew, like we kind of drifted apart. We stopped talking to each other, but my interest in TCGs was still there. So I ended up finding other websites that Mandarake used to sell trading card or like booster boxes. So I bought a lot of Chaos TCG booster boxes from them. And there were other websites that I used to go through, and a lot of other sketchy things that I used to do. There was this one time where I went to a Western Union to get a check, so I could send it through the mail to this sketchy website that would then receive that check and then cash it in or whatever, and then they would send me the item. So it was like I used to do all this sketchy stuff just to get these booster boxes. So that's essentially how I got into it and how I've kind of been doing things over the years. But yeah, in those years, Chaos TCG was king TCG. Weiss was kind of how these days how we kind of see something like a good comparison is like Union Arena. Like Union Arena right now in the year 2025, I personally feel like it has a lot of potential, but it's not like super mainstream. It's not like super sought after. It's not like big Union Arena whales like going crazy. Or I guess there's not a lot of them. There are some obviously, but there's not like it's not like super huge, right? Like Weiss level. So that's kind of how Weiss was in those days compared to Chaos. Or I guess I should say this is from a foreigner's point of view, because I was very active in the community. And a lot of those people have already like gone away, sold their stuff, and eventually I got a lot of it, and I obviously since then have sold it, and my interest in TCGs have differed a lot, and I've kind of been there, done that at this point. It's been a fun 10 plus years in the TCG, and it's only getting a lot more interesting with all these like AGRs and like other hand signed type of rarities. Something that really got me away from like Chaos TCG and Lise, because those were really the two that I was heavily following up until whenever COVID started was like that anime craze and like that COVID TCG boom that helped Weiss build the traction that it has now. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, whenever I was into Chaos and Lise heavily, I definitely didn't really care about Weiss all that much. Although I still loved anime and I watched it all the time, but Weiss just was not that interesting at the time for me. But like I said, once kind of like that whole like anime craze happened, where like anime became a lot more mainstream, and that everyone was inside because of COVID. That's also whenever I came into the space. By that time, I wasn't crazy about like ripping cases, or I wasn't kind of going all in, so I was just kind of buying a box here and there. It wasn't until maybe like 3 years ago or maybe like 2 or 3 years ago when I really started to get my love for the TCG game was reignited, right? So I started buying cases, started ripping more, and it kind of the cycle starts, right? It's all a big cycle, right? You when you first discover something, it's you're in love with it, like it's the most interesting thing in the world, but after a while you kind of slow down, right? So that's kind of where I was, right before COVID happened. I had a full-time job, was going through school, or I was finishing school finally, and just trying to do something for myself. But here I am now. just trying to finally start this dream of like creating a YouTube channel and just kind of finally documenting my TCG journey. There are many times where I wish I still had a lot of my old stuff, but maybe one day I'll do like a collection and like room tour or whatever. But yeah, I like I said, I just thought I'd make this video to introduce myself a little bit more, kind of have you get to know me more and more. But I mean, if anybody has any questions or any desires, anything they think would be interesting to watch on the channel, definitely let me know, because I mean, I'm definitely for like trying new things, even like getting into like a boxing arena. But that's about it for me, y'all. I mean, this has been Tora. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.